So, hello and hello and hello. This is Erica, and I've been asking questions about calling in the book, calling in your book, and allowing it to be pretty much as big as it desires to be, allowing it to play the role of inviting those into your circles, inviting those who will thrive when you help them with your gifts, inviting those who will be your clients in the way that it will be so mutually amazing for both of you that you can't even imagine not working with that person. So your book becomes a beacon, kind of a, you can think of a lighthouse tower on a ocean cliff, shining light for all to see. You can think of your book as a way of being in alignment with your source and your soul. And as you tap into this source energy and this gift that you bring, I'd like to assure you that your book is your own. Your book has your DNA coding into it, woven into the fabric of it. So even if the messages may resonate with other light givers' messages, you can lean into your own chi, your own experiences, and your own light, your own source codes, and these will always be of you, a gift coming through you from source. And you can kind of let go a little bit of the fear. Hmm. You know what I'm getting is belongingness. Like how will I be sure that I write a book that belongs, it belongs, it belongs? And what if that wasn't even a thing? Even if in the writing of your book you help, well, I'm just going to be silly because I think sometimes that's helpful. What if your book is about communication with animals and three different animal owners read it and deepen their communication with their animals? And now the love they feel for their animals and the animal messages that come through for them, let's say they post them all over the place on social. So now you write a book and it's about something fun like how to play harder with your animals or how to let your animals' wisdom guide you or, something fun like that. I'm just messing around like, guys, that's not necessarily your topic, but let's just say it is. Now, the wisdom from that book is on your socials. And let's just say now the three people who read it inspire 24 more people, like eight people each to read it. Now you've got, say, close to 30 people reading it. Now let's let all of those 30 people post something on their socials that's kind of woven into the magic of your book. And you can see how one book can influence the reality for so many. Your light shining can influence so many. In publishing authors, which I've been blessed to do since around, I think the first time I started publishing other people was around 2012 after my second book was published, Happiness Quotations, which was a phenom. So blessed to be given that book. Hmm. And as the authors and I held our books up high and celebrated their bestseller status, others began to see, hey, I could I could do that. I could write a book. I could change the world. And a little something about the book making money. And I remember this one loan officer came to me and said, I'd like to write a book and then make millions and not ever have to work again. And I remember thinking or perceiving that was an awful lot of weight to put on the shoulders of a book. So we want to look at what we put on the book as expectations and see if we can't unravel that a little bit and see if we can't shift out of demanding a certain result around which other than that will make us completely unhappy and see that kind of as a recipe for disaster and shift back into talking to the consciousness of the book and saying, book, what would you like to create? What would you like to generate? How could I introduce you to the world in a way that helped the change and the messages on the pages come to life, regardless if anyone even buys the book, regardless if so the messages now are coming from source, coming through my vehicle, my physical body, shifting onto the pages in physical form. And I am a pretty big believer in allowing the book to be in physical form. I know Kindles and ebooks are very popular, and I also am aware of the power of a printed word and a physical book held in one's hands and loved. Hmm. So just sit there with the energy of your book, one book, and some of you, like me, have many, many books in within us that would all like to be written all at the same time. And I have this is so common with me that I have people I work with who have more than one book and they all want to be born, maybe a children's book and a fantasy book and a mystery book and a nonfiction book. And they're all like clamoring, pick me, pick me, pick me. So you want to just kind of go back to this, kind of a state of theta or meditation and say, alrighty, since I am one physical vessel, I have two hands, I can write anything. Please show me the book that will serve both me, my physical body, perhaps money, perhaps joy, perhaps love, and which one being born first is going to be the most generative, whether that and then don't know the answer first. Just sit there with all the possible books that might want to come through you and say, which of you would like to be born first? How beautiful. I won't share what I was shown because it's so unexpected. And that brings me to another really interesting thing that I recommend, which is not share the book you're working on right now. Allow that to be a sacred space between you and the book and kind of protect that energy, that wholeness of you and the book and allow it to come in pretty fully. And I recommend you then have the cover designed and the interior designed. And then as you're getting ready to launch it, this is when you invite others to help you launch it. And you can let out a little bit of the identity, but not the whole thing. And then launch day, when it goes for sale, this is when you announce it to the world. This is when you splash. And that will give it the most, like if you think of like those guys with a hammer at a circus and they pound down on the little bell and it goes up and it hits the top, this will give it the most leverage and momentum. Nice. Very nice. So I'm being shown to ask you if you'd like to be in my book creation group. This is a small group, and we're going to collaboratively work to birth our books together. However, we won't be sharing your content with the group. What we'll do is work through blockages, work through imposter syndrome, work through belief, work through connecting with others for our bestseller launches, and really being intentionally secretive about our content until it evolves into something that's almost physical, almost ready, a full manuscript. My team will work with you to design the interior, design the cover, and then, this is so fun, we're going to build you a publishing entity like Bliss Academy, Bliss Alchemy Press, Back Pocket Publishing, Sports Engine Publishing. These are some of the companies my clients have formed to publish their books. So we're going to allow you to have your own publishing entity, and this will serve all the books on your bookshelf that desire to be born through you for your lifetime. You can always shift out of your own publishing company, but this will allow you to have a little icon on the base of your spine of your book that denotes your publishing entity. And it's an arm of self publishing, but it's masked through the publishing entity that you build. For instance, mine is Happy Publishing LLC, and that is the publishing company that publishes all of the Erica Glessing books. It's my second publisher. Nice. So just kind of be with that. Here's another thing you can say to your book as you're writing it. You will be published. There will be a publishing entity that works for you. This will be in hands. And really just allow it to be in hands. And then as you get options for publishing, you're going to know your yeses and your nos by discernment. You're going to be able to tap into what would serve the book the best. What would serve the book the best? What is the highest and best good for the book? And just see it done without knowing. And then we're going to shift just a little bit further into, I'm not going to do bestseller on this call, but I will ask for Universe to share some sort of ongoing marketing or ongoing socials. And one of the things that served me very well was pre-recording and pre-creating and then allowing a service like later.com or deliver.it, and I allowed things to be shared out automatically without judgment. And this means I wasn't sitting there looking to see if anybody liked it or if anybody copied it or if anybody shared it. I was just creating all the socials in a vacuum of not knowing. And then I will build that out to roll out automatically. And that's what shifted my podcast, The Erica Blessing Show, into Celestial Levels, was this automatic sharing, this sending out without knowing. And it was okay if, like on Pinterest, not that many people looked, but then all of a sudden 3,000 people looked. And I've never even gone to Pinterest, hardly, maybe twice in my life. But because it shares automatically, people who are seeking it can find it. People who are seeking your book will find it. Let me just say that again. Those who are seeking the messages you bring will find them. Such a relief. It's not so much a doing as a being, and just really being in honor of the gift of the book you've been given. And that leads me to another topic of validation. And when something is right and true, it simply does not require external validation. And here's an interesting thing. Your book may come out this year and hit it in 3 years. My 2011 book is like going wild again. My 2007 book is still, it's called Prospect When You're Happy. It was so much fun writing that one. It just came in channeled, and I didn't know what channeling was. I really didn't. And well, maybe I did because I'd read the Seth books, but I wasn't consciously aware that I was channeling it until I read it later. And I could see how it was coming in so pure and so beautiful. And it was answering the call of what I was seeing, which is when you're happy, you prospect better, which seems so simple. And that was my first book. And I still really love it, even though it's so antiquated. Looking at the design, I'm like, oh my gosh, the text is so tiny. Yeah, 2007, my eyes were better. Still really good eyes, but still, I'm just saying. So really just be with your book and allow it to know that it will reach those it's meant to reach and desired to reach. It will help those it's meant to help. And even in putting it on paper, even in publishing it, there is a wave of energy that goes out regardless of how many people consume or buy it. You're already changing the world by being in the consciousness of your book. And you don't really need to do everything you think you need to do to be a material success. However, if being a material success is a major value, then your next steps are a 12-month plan where every month, and if possible every day, there's something being done to move the needle. Something's being done to move the needle. You don't have to know them all, but for instance, I always do a free gift on Thanksgiving. I always I always do something free for download on Thanksgiving. I have 30 books, so I'm really blessed, and well, 33, I think. So what I'd like to see is like something on Thanksgiving, and then I always do something for the first 12 days of December, and I do 12 somethings related to my books or my creations. Now my birthday's in September, so I like to do a happy birthday thing in September, right? So every month and every kind of week, there's something that I can build into the marketing plan that will share outward consistently the messages from the book. And what you want to do to the best degree you can is set some of these up to automatically release. So if you wake up and you're just in a mood and you're feeling grumpy and you don't see any success and you're just like, life sucks and I'll never make it and I suck as an author and all the crap that comes in our head from our parents and our grandparents and the naysayers And the mean teachers who redlined your stuff, yeah, I have some of those. Some days, those are the clouds that are going to be raining on you. So when you preset your releases, your higher self can be at work in the world, even when your physical self might be having a day, right? Yeah. So that's what came in this morning. I'm calling in your book. Hmm. And if the whole program that I build, which is one, helping you build a publishing entity, helping your book become real, helping your book have an interior and a cover design that matches its highest self, helping do your 12-month marketing plan. If all of that sounds good, this is a one-on-one program. And what you'd like to do, if this beckons at all, it's not free and it's not ridiculously expensive. It's right in the middle. It includes helping publish to bestseller, and having a print book in hands that you can sell and share, as well as the Kindle or the ebook. And this can act as a lead magnet, it can act as a game changer. It will be yours completely, and you'll receive all of the profit from every sale and every download of your book. That's how my publishing company works. You want to email me at happypublishing@gmail.com. And I'm working on happypublishing.net. It got malwared. I have to rebuild it from scratch. So very soon there will be free downloads in there for you. But for now, it's just basically a holding spot while I recoup from the previous happypublishing.net iterations, which are gone. So I'm fresh slating that entity. And you can see my books at Amazon.com, Erica Glassing. You can see that I walk the talk. I live this, I breathe this. And I'm a third generation publisher. So my grandfather and both of my parents published, and both of my parents had published books. May they rest in peace and whatever else they're up to on the other side. And finally, I'd like to send a big hello from those of you who are animal lovers, because I have that kind of as in my heart these days. Thank you so much for listening and have a most beautiful day.